Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you are one of my old subscribers, thank you for always stopping by. I am Adiola, and on this channel I post videos, DIY and simple tutorial. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how I cut this little cape on this gown. So if this is what you are interested in, let us get into the video. The first thing that you need is that you are going to be drafting it on paper. Don't draft directly on your fabric. And from your shoulder line, you need to get your shoulder width. All you are going to be needing is just your shoulder to your under bust, or even your bust point, but your under bust is better. Okay, so that when it remains you can walk around it, but I'll be walking around my shoulder to my nipple point for this tutorial. Now I have marked my shoulder divided by 2. So the shoulder I'm working with here is 17 inches, so I have marked the 17 inches divided by 2, and on that shoulder line I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I created my armhole length. So the armhole length I'm working with here is 8.5. So I just mark it like you see me doing here. And on the starting line too, I mark the same length, which is my shoulder length, and it serves as my upper chest line. Okay, so after marking that, I'm going to go ahead and create my armhole curve. So whatever it is you have on your shoulder, you mark the same thing on your chest line and connect it as a straight line like you see me doing in this video. So after doing that, I'm going to extend that line a bit so that I will know exactly where my armhole is. Now I'll go ahead and portion my chest divided by 2, I mean my bust divided by 4, and I am going to connect it. Then I'm going to mark the neck width because I'm going to be needing the neck width. So the neck width for this tutorial is 3.5 inches. It's because this person is on the higher side, but if you are cutting for somebody that is not too fat or not too chubby, you can just do 3 inches. Then I'll go back to my armhole line and I come in by half an inch. Then I'm going to connect like you see me doing here. I'll connect the first curve to the shoulder line, and then the same half an inch that I came in with rather, I'm going to connect it to the bust divided by 4. Now after that is done, on your shoulder line, that is where you are going to be working now, so that you can add the cover of the sleeve. Now I extended my shoulder line by 4.5 because this person is on higher side. Like I mentioned, she had a broad shoulder, but for someone that is not really big, you could do 3.5. So for this person I do 4.5. Then I mark my neck width, the neck depth. The neck depth for my back is 1 inch, and for the front I make use of the same 3.5 that I use for the neck width. So I'm just going to connect both back neckline and then the front neckline like you see me doing here in the video. Connect the back and then connect the front neck depth. Now we are going to be dividing this portion into 3. So whatever it is that you have between your chest your bust divided by 4, just go ahead and divide it by 3. So for me, the first one that I marked was 3 inches. So on that 3 inches, I went up by 1 inch. 1 inch. So I went up by 1 inch, and then I blend that curve into my bust point. Like I told you, you don't need all the fabric, you just need your shoulder to your bust point or to your under bust as the case may serve. But for this, I'm using my bust point. Now from that 1 inch that I went up with, I'm going to connect it to the second portion like you see me doing in this video. Okay, so I'm just going to connect it like so. Did you see the way I placed that curve ruler? I'll just connect it like you see me doing, half an inch down that point, because I really want them to not to be too high. So I came down by half an inch from that point, the second point, and I connected it like you see me doing in this video. Then the last point, before I get to the last point, I will just go to that center point, I mean the midpoint of my armhole. I'll come down by 1 inch from that midpoint. Then I'm going to blend it in to the 2 inches that I came down with on the second division. Okay, I don't know if you understand, but please watch what I'm doing closely. So I'll just blend it like so. I'll blend that 1 inch into that half an inch that I came down with on the second division. Then I'm going to go ahead and work on the sleeve now. Now from the shoulder, I came out by 4.5 and then I mark it down. I'll also get the midpoint of that area so that I can connect the last one. So this remaining division, I'll also get the midpoint like you see me doing. Then I'm going to connect the two midpoints together with a curve. I'm going to connect the two midpoints together with a curve. So watch closely the way I place my French curve and see the way I'm working with it. So I just blend the down part like so. So after doing that, the shoulder area, you're still going to create a kind of curve there, because the shoulder is not necessarily flat like the regular shoulder. So from that shoulder, I will create a dotted line. So I create a dotted line down to the shoulder slope just to indicate that corner. Then I'm going to place my curve ruler in such a way that I'm going to blend in into that um midpoint of the 4.5 extension. I hope you understand. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please watch what I'm doing and just figure it out like that. So this is how I just blend it in, because the shoulder was cut together. You are not cutting the sleeve separately. Okay, so I just blend it inward like you see me doing here in this video. So that is the simple way to cut this cape. Now after doing that, I noticed that it was too shallow, or should I say it was too long. So I decided to go up a bit by half of an inch, so that by the time I finish sewing, it will fall directly on that point. So I went up at that midpoint by something around quarter of an inch, just to make it come up a bit so that it won't be too long, and by the time my client wants to raise her arm, she'll be able to do that freely. So I connected to that quarter of an inch and then I blend it back the same way I did the first time. So this was just to create a kind of same length with the um upper area, but I don't want it to have the same length with the rest of the curve. Now our shoulder is ready. I'll just go ahead and cut it all round the way I want. Okay, so while cutting it out, please be careful of that sharp area, because you are still going to be needing it when you are sewing. Because when you are sewing this particular style, that sharp area is what will give you that fitness at the center. So when you want to do yours, please be careful with it. I noticed that it was after I finished sewing that I noticed that this center was a little bit too wide, but I think it came out so beautiful on the client because she has a very broad shoulder. Trust me, she has a very broad shoulder. So having that wide center gave it a very beautiful look on her. But if you are cutting for someone that is not very chubby, that doesn't have wide shoulder, please just divide it by 2 and minus like 1 inch from that center. The other side could be bigger, but that center, there's a way it will look so sleek on the person. So I just went ahead and cut it down. Guys, if you have gotten value since I started this video, please give me a thumbs up and also comment on this post. Please comment. Let YouTube know that this video and this channel is doing well. Please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you. So I'm going to be using this paper to cut the front and the back piece. Don't forget that I have added my allowance to that center, but the other part doesn't have allowance. So while cutting, I'm going to add half an inch allowance all round. Okay, I have folded my zipper allowance inward, so I'm going to add half an inch all round. And when you are cutting, please cut on the back neckline first so that you can use the paper to cut the front eventually. So I'm placing this fabric on it, and then I'm going to be cutting like you see me doing in this video. I'm going to cut with allowance all round, only on the neck area like I mentioned. I am not adding allowance. So I've cut one piece for the front. I'm trying to cut the second piece for the front. And please, I want to say something. When you want to cut this particular style, please get enough fabric. I was short of fabric at a point that I had to get additional fabric to join, to especially if you are cutting that additional flare part for this particular fabric. So you are going to cut two pieces for each of them. Thank you guys for staying tuned to the end of this video. I lost the sewing part of the video. I would have shared it. So I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you and God bless you so much.